Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is a video talking about my basic training experience here at Fort Leonard Wood and what you can expect if you're coming here for basic training. This is a video I would have wanted to watch prior to shipping out, so let's get into it. So first, you get off the plane, you'll go to St. Louis Airport, dropped off at the USO. We got in the shuttle and it was like already nighttime, and you take like a 2-hour bus ride to Fort Leonard Wood. I remember getting on the shuttle and this is the moment where you're like, this is really happening, you know, I'm joining the Army. I got no sleep on the bus, and then you get there at night, you arrive at the 43rd, and this is also known as reception. I was up for like 24 hours this day, and it sucked. They start issuing you kind of all your uniforms and all that stuff. They give you all these shots. Then they start going over paperwork, and I remember time was going by so slow already. You kind of get a feel for what basic training is going to be like. You learn the Soldier's Creed, the Army song. So this is when you just stand in lines and you're just waiting. You wait in hour-long lines, and I remember having foot pain and back pain. I've never stood for that long. The days were long and they sucked, but me personally, I thought it was better than basic training. We kind of fucked off in our bay. On Sundays, you get a free day, and we threw mats down in the middle of the bay, and people were doing jujitsu and all this stupid stuff. This is also where you get an introduction to what fire guard is like, and fire guard sucks. It is where you have 1 hour in the middle of the night that you're just awake, and you make sure that nobody's going AWOL, which is where they leave, or if anyone's trying to like hurt themselves, but it never happens. And this is gonna go through all of your like training experience. So fire guard sucks. At the 43rd, there's no exercising whatsoever. They can't smoke you or do anything physical to you. So this is also where you learn what night-night bars are, and they're these chocolate bars, and they're calcium bars, but we call them night-night bars. And you either love them or you hate them, and I love it. It's like the only candy you can get. You're gonna be waking up at like 4:35 a.m. You get in your OCPs, which is the Army uniform, and you wake up, you go to Chow at the DFAC. You'll learn to eat fast, and you'll learn to get used to the Army food, because it's the same food throughout all of it. Also at the 43rd, they're gonna start yelling at you, and you're gonna start to feel what basic training is gonna be like, but they're gonna be yelling at you. You're gonna learn how to pay attention to detail. That's a big thing in the Army. And one of the worst parts of the 43rd is getting your penicillin shot, or what they call a peanut butter shot. And it is a needle, and it is like this long, and it is like, it's a pretty big needle, and they shove it in your ass, and it like, if you ask anybody about the peanut butter shot that's in the Army, they'll know exactly what you're talking about. So get ready for that, unless if you're allergic to penicillin and you're one of the lucky ones. If I could go back and give myself a piece of advice, it would be to keep track of your shit. If they tell you to throw away like PT uniforms, if you don't have them, but in basic training, people steal that stuff like crazy. So if you find a pair of your size PTs laying around, definitely take those, and never, like, always keep track of your stuff, because it's gonna bite you in the ass if you don't. So reception lasted about a week for me. I would rate reception an 8 out of 10 because I liked it, honestly. Looking back, when I was at reception, I was like, I can't wait to get to basic training. And then I got to basic training, I was like, I wish I was back at the 43rd. Then you ship to day 0 of basic training. This will be your first real day of basic training, and we had a shark attack, and this is by far the worst day of basic training. So the shark attack, this is when the buses come to get you from the 43rd and take you to wherever you're going for basic training. And they say they don't do shark attacks, but they do. They're gonna pick you up. You're gonna see who your drill sergeants are. They're gonna be screaming at you, yelling at you, telling you to hurry up. You're gonna have these big A bags full of all your stuff. They're gonna be yelling at you. It's gonna be really hectic. They put a lot of stress on you, and looking back on it now, it was kind of funny, but I remember in the moment, it was horrible. So it's pretty scary. That's when you realize, like, holy shit. Then you get off. I remember they stack these bags on this truck, and they're throwing your bags everywhere. You gotta find all your bags, and your drill sergeants are yelling at you, they're smoking you, making you do push-ups, and they're telling you to find your bag, and you have no idea where your bag is, and they just put you under a lot of stress, and it was no fun. Then you'll grab your bags, you'll go into your bay, and you'll find who your bunkmate is, and you'll see what the bay is like, where you'll be living. You're gonna be getting fucked up the rest of the day, and you're just gonna be scared. I remember my day 0, I think we had 70 people in my bay, and they tried to get all of us to shower within 7 minutes. And it was so hectic, and they were screaming the whole time. There was a big desk in my bay, and they flipped it. They were all yelling at everybody. Everyone was just kind of confused. No one knew what was going on. In the moment, it really blew going to day 0, but looking back on it, it's kind of funny to think about, and my drill sergeants were definitely having a fun time doing that. but it's pretty scary. So this is where you really start learning what basic training is going to be like. So you're starting red phase, and there's 3 phases: red phase, white phase, and blue phase. Red phase is where they're super strict on you. They're trying to get you out of the civilian mindset and shape you into a soldier. White phase is big on marksmanship, so you'll be getting your M4s and you'll go to the range. Pretty much the same thing as red phase for me. Blue phase is the last phase, and this is where they start to kind of ease up on you a lot and actually treat you like humans. And this is pretty much just getting you ready for graduation. Each phase is about 3 weeks. So at basic training, you're gonna wake up normally like 4:30 again, sometimes 5 o'clock. You're gonna wake up, you shave every morning. One of the worst things about basic training is mass punishment. And I hated mass punishment. So if one person's fucked up, you're all getting fucked up. Like your drill sergeants are gonna smoke all of you guys. So they're trying to get you to police each other up and hold each other accountable, but it never works. One person's always gonna be fucked up, and then you guys are all gonna have to pay for it, and it sucks. This is where you're gonna learn how to keep a good timely manner and how to start doing things fast and efficiently and not to be late. You'll learn to get in a formation, you'll learn to march in a formation, do the PRT, and that's your exercise. One thing I did not think I would be doing as much as I did was clean. You clean so much in the Army. On Sundays, they make you clean the whole company, and it sucks. The first real Army thing we did was a team obstacle course with your platoon. So there's like 7 little obstacle courses, and you work as a team to get it done, and you're going against another group and you're racing. And that was a real fun, like the first fun thing we actually did. At the end of red phase, you do the confidence tower, which is rappelling down. It's like a 40-foot just wall. We have a big rope and you're jumping down this wall, and that was pretty cool too. A lot of people are scared of it, but it is not bad at all, and it was really fun. The only thing about it is you wait, we waited like 4 hours, and I only got to rappel for like 30 seconds. So just a lot of waiting, but it was fun. In red phase, you also do the gas chamber, and you go in your brick room, and you can't really, it doesn't look like there's any gas, but you learn how to like don your mask, and then they start making you exercise. They'll make you take your gas mask off, and you start breathing, and they're trying to open your eyes and stuff, and it's like mace in a room, and it hits your lungs really hard, and then you walk out, and your nose is all runny, and it burns, and it's a good time to look on now, but I remember a lot of people were scared of the gas chamber. My company did a lot of hot laps, especially my platoon with my drill sergeant. He loved making us do hot laps, so you'll probably be doing a lot of hot laps here. The last thing you do is the hammer, and it is a 5-mile ruck, and you stay in the field overnight, and it sucks. I hated staying in the field, but it's only one night, and right when you get back, that's when you start white phase, and your phase banner will change to white. You'll also do your ACFT, and this consists of T push-ups, ball throw, plank, sprint drag carry, and a 2-mile run. The person with the highest score in your company gets the award called the Iron Soldier. So you want to do good on your ACFT events. And I thought they were a lot of fun just because I'm an active person. I like to lift, but red phase went by really fast for me. I'm just counting days. It just sucked the whole time. It sucked. You're gonna hate red phase. I would rate red phase a 3 out of 10 because it just sucks. Count chows every day and count Sundays and how you make the days go by faster. Every Sunday you get a 5-minute phone call to call your family and just kind of be like, hey, basic training sucks. Okay, I love you, bye. And that's kind of your phone call is gonna go. You're gonna have no time. Make sure you're locking your locks in the barracks because the drill sergeants will come up when you guys are all gone. And if your bunk is unlocked, they'll take your lock, they'll hide it somewhere. They'll throw all of your shit everywhere. They'll spray shaving cream all of your bay. They did that to us a lot. They'd literally write lock your shit and shaving cream. They'd throw soap everywhere. They'd trash the place and you have to clean it up. So make sure everyone's locking their shit and take the trash out every morning or else they will throw the trash to all of your bay. And like I said, once you get back from the hammer, you'll be in white phase. So your phase banner will change to white, and this is really big on rifle marksmanship. And the first thing about white phase is you start learning cadence. The songs, and then this is where you can actually sound off when you're marching, and they do like left, right, and you do that, and then you learn cadences, and those are super fun. But they fucked my throw up the first time because I was just not used to screaming. My voice and throat, it was bad. This is when you should be getting leadership roles, and you'll get a PG, which is they're in charge of your platoon, and it's kind of the middleman from your platoon to your drill sergeant, and they'll be in charge, and you get your squad leaders. And Leadership positions sucked. I remember I was a squad leader for like 3 weeks, I think it was, and at first I liked it, but I was starting to lose all my friends because no one wanted to listen to me, and you're put in charge of these people and they don't like it. And actually, right now in AIT, I got put as a squad leader, even though I did not want a leadership role at all, but they still put me as a squad leader. So in white phase, you get a little bit more freedom. Like my company, I still got smoked as much as I did in red phase. So it was really no different. It still sucked. For 1 week, you'll be learning how to qualify with your iron sight on your M4. And you go to the range. The range was, I shipped right after I graduated high school, so it was super hot. And you're at the range all day. They don't want you to talk, but everyone talks anyways. And you do it for a whole week. After you're done qualifying with your iron sight, then you'll get a CCO, which is like a red dot sight. And you start the whole process all over again. Actually shooting at the range was fun, but you only shoot for maybe 20 minutes, and the rest of it you're just waiting at the range, and it sucks. So starting the whole process over sucked for me. And this is where you do shakedowns, and shakedowns suck. This is where they make you kind of strip down your clothes, and they're checking you for bullets and casings or anything like that, but you have to unblouse your blouse, you have to take your belt off, you take off your boots, and you stand with your M4 above your head, and you go, "No brass, no ammo, weapon unsafe, drill sergeant." It's stupid. No one ever has anything. And you stand there and they check you. It's just a whole waste of time, and a shakedown second. You do it every time you go to the range. Another thing, do not call it a gun. Call it a weapon, call it your M4, a rifle, anything like that. But if you get caught calling it a gun, you're gonna get smoked. But after you're done at the range, you'll spend hours cleaning your weapon. Most of the time I would be in the bathroom during that, just talking to everybody else. In white phase, you'll get 10 to 15 minute phone calls, depending on kind of how you do during the week. If you suck, they're gonna threaten to take your phones away. Sometimes I've heard other companies did get their phones taken away on Sundays. So I remember we came back to the barracks from range day, and my drill sergeant was pissed, and he asked for our phase banner and just started snapping it and throwing it, and he destroyed our phase banner, and I've never heard that happen before. And he smoked us all day. I remember we ran like 50 hot laps around the building with these IOTVs, which is like it's like your bulletproof vest, and he was making us do push-ups. We were getting smoked. We had to go to Chow, came back, and he kept smoking us, and it was horrible. Another thing you do is the confidence course, and it's this big course. It involves with a lot of heights, and I liked it a lot. I'm not afraid of heights. Like, I like kind of having adrenaline, so I liked it a lot. But if you're afraid of heights and stuff like that, then you're gonna have a tough time. But you'll get through it. The drill sergeants won't let you not do it, so you're gonna have to do it, and it's not that bad. Then at the end of white phase, you do what's called the anvil, which is where you have a 7.5 mile ruck. You carry your M4s on these rucks, but your ruck is like, it's like 40 pounds, and you ruck 7.5 miles through the gravel. We did ours coming back from the anvil, and it was the middle of the night, and I remember I was soaked in sweat. Like, I was disgusting. Pro tip, bring a little rag and keep it in your cargo pocket, and then you can wipe your face, because you will be drenched in sweat after these rucks. In the anvil, you stay in the field 2 nights where you stay in a little tent. Make sure you bring wet wipes so you can take like wet wipe showers. That's what you're gonna have to do. Bring a change of clothes, because you're gonna smell and it's gonna suck. Staying in the field sucks. I hated every second of it. During the anvil, you'll do land nav, which is where you kind of learn. You get a map and you get a compass, and you learn like your azimuths, and you just learn how to navigate with just a map and everything. And I was in the group that finished first on my entire company, and it was pretty fun. So this is also where you learn battle drills, and this is where they had they're like these fireworks, and they'd throw them off, they'd whistle, and then they'd explode. You'd go, "Incoming!" and then they'd blow up, and then you'd have to drop down, and you'd be like, "Enemy, 12 o'clock, 500 meters, and then you get up and you run, and your drill sergeants are throwing them like crazy, and it sucks. It is like getting smoked, and it's horrible. I hated it. We got back from the ruck at like 1 in the morning, and everyone got back and showered, and they let us sleep in until like, I think it was like 7 that morning, and that was crazy. White phase, it was the slowest phase for me. I didn't like white phase, but I would rate it like a 4 out of 10. So once you get back from the anvil, then you'll be in blue phase, and this was the best phase. Your drill sergeants will start treating you like people, and they'll start to lighten up on you, and sometimes like you can start making jokes with your drill sergeants, and it's a good time. You start off with PEX, and it's an individual obstacle course, and I thought it was pretty alright. That's just the first thing you do. In blue phase, you also throw 2 live hand grenades, so that was pretty awesome. You do battle team live fire, and this is where the drill sergeant will, like, they'll get on you about having your rifle pointed down range, and it was pretty stressful. Like, they stress a lot about safety, and they'll make it seem bad, but it's a battle drill with live ammo, and you start shooting, and your battle buddy will be on the other side, and you'll be like, cover me while I reload, battle buddy, and then they'll run and start shooting. And then it was just really stressful because the drill sergeants are talking a lot about safety and saying, like, you can shoot people, and it's really stressful. Make sure when you're moving during battle team live fire, you put your weapon on safe. That's the biggest thing. Then you get fitted for your graduation pink and greens. This is the AGSU uniform you'll be wearing for graduation. You'll do your final ACFT, and this is who they choose for the Iron Soldier Award at your graduation. So make sure you do good on that. Then you're gonna have Super Chow. The drill sergeants hyped it up way more than what it was. They said there was like lobster there and all this stuff, but it's just normal chow, and there's desserts, and you can go through twice. My drill sergeants made it sound like it was like a 5-star thing, and lobster and ribs and all these desserts, but it's really not like that. Like, we marched to my own DFAC, and I was like, are we at the right place? But it wasn't anything too special. And when you get back, it's pretty cool. You can do impressions of your drill sergeants in front of them when they watch. And we had some people that were like really good, actually, and it was really funny to watch. And there's other people that just suck, and you're like, everyone will boo them, and your drill sergeants will boo them too. But that was a good time. And then you'll do your Victory Forge, which is a 10-mile ruck. You stay in the field for 3 days. You'll do NIC, which is a night infiltration course. NIC was pretty cool. They try and simulate like you at night on a beach, and you're low crawling through the sand, and there's live round, like tracer rounds going over your head, and you can see it in the sky. You get all sandy. I remember I had all my pockets are full of sand at the end of this. And they shoot flares in the sky, and you can see it. It was pretty cool. I really like NIC. And when you get back from the forge is when you have your badging ceremony. It's like a bonfire in the middle of the night. You form up, and it's awesome. That's when you get your army patch. The drill sergeant you like the most patch you, and it's a great time. And then like that, you'll be graduating, and then you'll be out of basic training, and that's kind of how basic training goes. So this is just some general knowledge that I wish I would have known before joining. And so first things first, you'll need to have a battle buddy, and this is where you have someone with you at all times. Whenever you talk to a drill sergeant, you have a battle buddy. You'll get used to that. In red phase, you're gonna have no personal time, and you're always gonna be around everybody, and you're gonna have to send letters through the week. So make sure you buy stamps and stuff if you want to talk to your family. There's contraband, and this is like having food in your barracks. You're not supposed to have any food in your barracks at all. The only thing that you can have that we would all have to be like candy is sugar-free menthol cough drops. These are the only cough drops that they'll let you have, and it is like candy to everybody. So if you have your family send you sugar-free menthol cough drop, it's like candy. Your perception of time will be pretty weird here. I remember that it would feel really fast and then really slow, and just, I don't know, it was pretty different. You'll make really good friends here, basic training. I have really good friends that I plan on staying in contact with. And you'll also meet people that you fucking hate, that like you'll make friends and enemies. The worst part is you live with them, so you have to kind of learn how to deal with it. The bathroom is called the latrine. Make sure you call it the latrine. You'll be running everywhere in basic training. You'll never walk. They'll be making you run. For Chow, you'll have multiple options. And I remember the first couple times we went to Chow, my drills were all screaming, telling us what to do. They want to be really precise about all these things that don't really matter, but they'll be screaming at you, and it'll be really hectic. They'll make you eat super fast. And some of the things that my drill sergeants did is if you messed up, they make you sing songs. Like one of the biggest one is bowl, 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 bowl to the food, where if you don't put your bowl over the food and then grab it, they make you yell, bowl, 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 bowl to the food. Like you have to scream it. That sucks. If you don't put your heels together when you're sitting down, they make you stand up and yell, heels together makes the food taste better. And they make you do these stupid things, and it just wastes your time because you don't have very much time to eat, so you don't want to be doing that. And it's pretty funny when other people do it. But there was one my drill sergeant made me do it, and if you're getting milk and it's going slow, he came up to me and made me scream, hurry up milk, just over and over again. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. You'll get MREs. MREs suck. Like some of them suck, but some are pretty good, but the desserts are awesome. We'd always kind of trade, but eating MREs, it sucks. We had to do essays as a punishment during basic training, and they'll make you write these super long essays about, like, if you forget your camelback, they'll make you write. We had to write 1,000-word essay, and we had to number every word so they knew it was 1,000 words about hydration. And you have to stay up a couple hours out of the night and write this stupid essay and turn it into a drill sergeant, so they just rip it up. Write your name on your stuff so that you'll know like what is yours, and people, if they won't be able to steal it if your name's on it. You'll learn what sharp is, and it's like a sexual harassment thing. It's really big in the Army, and you can't do anything like people do in high school because it's considered like sharp. Like they'd say like locker room horseplay or whatever. It's like a real thing, and you'll get in a lot of trouble and you could possibly go to prison. Basic training is a lot of hurry up and wait. That's just what the Army is. And I remember in my bays, after lights out, we would do these things in our janitor closet, and we'd call them raves, where we'd have our flashlights and we'd go in these stupid uniforms and we'd have to be quiet and we'd all be dancing, and it was so stupid, but it was like really funny. We'd have like these big trench coats on, and then we'd put like our dark eye pro on and like our graduation caps, and if we would have got caught, we would have gotten like fucked up, but it was really fun. So yeah, that's what basic training was like for me. And if you're coming to Fort Leonard Wood, this is kind of things you could be expecting. But basic training in the moment sucked, but looking back on it, it was pretty fun, and you're never gonna forget anything like that. So thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you made it all the way through, and thank you for watching.